No yawning.
All right, we'll call our August meeting to order here, and we'll start, as usual, with the superintendent's report.
Well, thank you very much, Dave. Welcome to everyone in the audience and to those watching the live stream this evening. Very excited to be here tonight. We are exactly 2 weeks out from the start of the 25-26 school year. Summer went very fast, but an exciting summer around here for sure. Again, highlighted by our summer services. About 80 students participated at the high school level, or excuse me, at the elementary level. They're wrapping up at the end of this week. So very excited about our summer service programs for middle school, as Dave alluded to earlier today, and as well as the high school. Had the pleasure a couple Saturdays ago, or maybe it was last Saturday, of attending the backpack.
August 2.
Is it backpack rodeo? No.
The back to school bash? Beyond the backpack?
No, it was
I was
back
at
to
both
school
of those.
bonanza.
Back to school bonanza. And I just wanted to take a minute to thank this incredible supportive community, Generous Hands, South County, First Day Shoe Fund.
Big read machine.
Big read machine. It was really cool to see all the kids there picking up supplies, getting new shoes. It was just a great way to kick off the start of the school year. So thank you to our wonderful community for all of that. Also, I know Dewey and Steve are here. We were able to walk through our buildings last Thursday. Happy to report construction is on time. Boy, is there some amazing things to see. I look forward to getting the community into our buildings so they can see the 2020 bond dollars that they supported at work. The high school bathrooms are just spectacular. What a change. I'm looking forward to all of you getting through those buildings. And once the school year starts, feel free to reach out if you'd like a tour. Our principals would be happy to help out as well, and I'd love to join you. So we're looking forward to that. A couple of highlights, including the bathrooms, the middle school, high school. That did include vape detection devices in those areas as well. Again, thanks to our community for the support. It's just been wonderful to see all the projects over the last 6 years. If you haven't been in Sunset yet, it's a 180. It is so bright. It's just so different. It's awesome. So can't wait to get everybody in there.
The chairs in the high school are pretty cool. My daughter and I tested them out. We had a good time.
Those are cool. In your packet as well, there's a list of all our new staff. I'm happy to report that most of our positions are filled. Unfortunately, as it always seems to happen, you may get a couple late resignations, which we are dealing with. But hopefully, we'll have those positions filled before the start of the school year. It seems like a kind of a common occurrence that we're right down to the wire with a couple jobs. But looking forward to welcoming all our new staff back to Vicksburg Community Schools this fall. Kindergarten, I just wanted to give a brief update on that. Our enrollment, we're currently at 212, which is up from last year, so trending in the right direction. I'll keep you posted. At this time of the year, it's when we sometimes even see more enrollments come in. Some surprises. Hopefully all those surprises are on the good side. So I'll keep you posted on that. I think we've already talked ad nauseum about Lansing being very, very quiet. I believe that finally the chamber is going to come back tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get some movement on the budget. There's many rumors out there, the one being maybe at the end of September. So stay tuned, because I do not have any new information regarding even any projections. So I also wanted to point out in your packet our pre-service that begins next week. We open it up with on Monday, the new teacher orientation here at the VAB. I'm looking forward to that. And then on Tuesday, August 19th, we will welcome our entire staff back. That PD will take place at the building level. And then on Wednesday, I'm hoping that all of you can join us on the board at the district opener. We'll start at 7:15 in the high school cafeteria for breakfast. Then we'll all move into the PAC around 1:45. And the big red machine will blast us with some great music and get us in the mood. and then we'll do the quick opener, and then if everything goes right, we will have our speaker speak around 8:30. So if you have an hour of time on next Wednesday, that'd be great if you could join us. It's going to be a great day. And then Thursday's a half-day PD, and that will be also at the building level. However, we're going to be doing some training, so all our staff will be at the high school that day. And then Friday we'll be off. The district will be off, and then school starts on Monday the 25th, and we'll get started. I also wanted to share with you in your packet or talk with you about the important dates that are coming up. We have plenty of great things coming up. Starting this Thursday, we have the Bus Safety Carnival. Cross your fingers for good weather. Last year, we unfortunately had to cancel that. It's always a great event. And then next Tuesday, the 19th, we will have our elementary school open houses. And then on the 20th, Wednesday, we'll have the middle school and high school open houses. Again, if you have any time just to come on out and take a look at some of the work, that'd be a great time to do that. 25th, as I said, first day of school, and then that's going to be a busy week with school, but also the 28th is our community tailgate, which is always a great time, and our first home football game. And then we will be on Labor Day break, August 29th to September 1st. So lots of great things coming up. Hopefully you can join us at some of these outstanding school events.
The open houses are in the evening, I assume?
Correct.
Okay.
5 to 8, 5:30 to 7, 5:30 to 7.
Okay,
4:30 to 6 for elementary.
okay. All right.
And we'll make sure our social media is on full go for all of these events as well. And with that, Dave, that's my report.
Marvelous. Budget and finance report, Steve?
Okay, really just two quick items to cover this evening, and then I'll make a quick comment about one of the action items on the agenda. So I'll start with the monthly budget progress report. And so this is the first, this includes activity for the month of July, which is, of course, the first month of our new fiscal year. And what I'd like to try to remind everybody, and particularly July and August, the activity is, there's a lot going on, but as far as budgetary activity, it tends to be pretty limited. We have, we're incurring expenditures, we're receiving orders of curriculum supplies and that type of thing, but you don't see sort of our main expenditures start until September. So that's why the numbers are fairly small. I'll just run through them very quickly. On the revenue side, we had $59,700 of revenue out of our projected budget of around $38.5 million. And that is, of course, we received no state aid until the month of October. And hopefully by then, there will be a budget in place and we'll know what to expect. In terms of the local revenue, what's included in there is we have some investment income and then just the very beginning of our summer property tax collections. You'll see those start to ramp up a little bit more in August. And then September is really the big month for those, as those are due on the 14th of September. And so, yeah, not a lot of revenue there. On the expenditure side, instructional expenditures were $57,602. There are some summer school related expenditures in there, and some curriculum and that type of thing, but generally not a lot of activity there. Support services, that's where you see a little bit more activity. Total support services for the month, $773,565. And, even that is 5% of the expected budget for the year for those items. And, we have maintenance, mechanics, we have things going on all summer long. And, as I mentioned, we start to, receive materials and supplies and that type of thing, as well as, pay for property and casualty, some of our annual expenditures that we pay once a year, like property and casualty insurance and those types of things are included. So that's why that number is, it's small in relation to the budget, but it's a lot more than you see on the instructional side, and that's just kind of the way the year progresses. Other expenditures, we had athletics at $47,854, community services at $3,923. So total expenditures year-to-date, again, just for 1 month, the lightest month in terms of budgetary activity, total expenditures $882,944. It's, you know, $300,000 more than this time last year. And, you know, that's one of the things that we look at just to monitor the budget is how we compare from one year to the next. But for the summer months in particular, there's so much timing related, you can't really draw any conclusions at this point, you know, July 25 compared to July of 24. So we just tend to get a lot of variability in there. Second page of the report summarizes expenditures by object code, and very quickly, salaries and benefits totaled $284,212. That's less than 0.9% of the annual budget. Again, just it's low activity, and you can see there's a breakdown for purchase services, supplies, capital outlay, and other. Any questions on that? All right, if not.
Well, Steve, your first state aid payment is generally October.
Yeah, third week would be October 20th, assuming that's not a weekend. If it is, it would fall to the following Monday. So yeah, it's, you know, even though we are continuing to, you know, pay for the balance of contracts from last year, you know, we're still collecting revenue for the last fiscal year. So we receive an installment in July and an installment in August. That will complete the funding for the 24-25 year. Then we skip the month of September, and the first installment from the state of Michigan will come third week in October. So, and that, you know, that really does create kind of a cash flow crunch, or it can. Happy to report that we continue to be in, you know, stable condition, and there have been years when, you know, we have issued short-term borrowings to meet cash flow for those, you know, for certain times of the year, including those times, but that's not currently necessary, and we like to avoid that when we can, because there are costs that go along with that. So hopefully, does that answer your question, Dave?
Yes.
All right. Second item is just a quick recap of district investments. This is as of the end of July. Investments are broken down between each of the various funds. And, you know, I'll just read through very quickly. The 22 Building and Site Fund currently has $2.7 million. The 24 Building and Site Fund currently has $5.95 million. Those are obviously restricted for capital projects. Those are proceeds from the bonds that were issued, that were voted on in 2020 and then issued in 3 different series. Debt service, we have $1.1 million in investments, and those obviously, that is also legally restricted for the payment of principal and interest on those bonds. And then finally, the general fund at the end of July had $5.18 million. And again, these do not include, you know, checking balances. These are pooled liquid asset funds that are managed specifically for school districts in the state of Michigan, school districts and other municipalities, I'd say, that consist solely of investments that are legal in the state of Michigan for public schools. And you can see the interest rate is pretty stable. It had been kind of dropping. Very little change in the last couple of months. You can see that we invest in 2 different funds. One, which for the month of July paid at 4.16%, and the MyLaugh Max class was at 4.29%. So still very good. And you can see there's a summary of investment income. That counter has restarted for the new fiscal year, and you can see that for the month, you know, we collected $55,755 of interest income. in those various funds. And obviously, wherever we earn those, even in those funds that are restricted, that's, that just helps us to stretch our dollars as far as we can. And obviously, it helps in the general fund as well, so.
Well, to give a sense of the magnitude of what you're doing with that interest income, I think we're budgeted to have under $400,000 of federal revenue this year.
In the general fund, yeah.
And if you do 55,000, we don't know, but, I mean, if you did 55,000 a month, that's more than we would get in money from the federal government for our budget.
Yeah, yeah, that is, again, I'll just point out that, 3 of those 4 funds have a specific legal restriction. The general fund, even in there, in the last 2 years, I don't get the exact number off the top of my head, but I mean, upwards of $250,000 of investment income. So it's at least on the general fund, and with those investment earnings that are the least restrictive, it's, 2/3 or better of what we expect from the federal government. So it's meaningful for sure. All right, any questions on that? Okay, last item is, I just want to make a quick comment that later in the agenda, there's a resolution related to the West Michigan Health Insurance Pool. It's very straightforward. It's just kind of a matter of housekeeping. I had served as the trustee on behalf of the district in the West Michigan Health Insurance Pool. That doesn't change, but there is, according to bylaws, there is, each participating entity has a trustee and an alternate. And so, just as a matter of housekeeping, we realized that the alternate trustee needed to be updated. And so that is to place Keevan as the alternate trustee. That's all that resolution is.
Very good.
Right.
That concludes your, I just wanted to tell you how much I appreciate, I think, the wisdom that has been shown with our bond over the years, because we were looking at, each of our buildings and where they are in terms of their general condition and whether, do you keep repairing or do you start replacing? And to see what we've done and to improve that. And I know, I look when my kids were attending Sunset, and to see the difference in that building now and how much nicer it is.
Yep.
Just the facade, exterior, but the lighting has made such a huge difference. And I haven't been in there with the new flooring yet, but I think this process of the bonds that go, over 6 years has really served us very, very, very well. And it's kept up the physical plant, and also it has, by keeping things up to date, then we don't have as many unexpected repairs that we got to take money out of the general fund. I really like this idea, if we can pay for people with our general fund, because that's where the education is. And this bond system allows that most of our capital expenses, the big ones, we're taking care of and preventing major catastrophes of roofs and things like that.
That's what you hope. Yeah, I mean, that's the plan, and that's, it seems to be, there can always be unexpected events, but yeah, it's, I think it's served the district well.
Yeah.
And, so.
The other thing I really want to celebrate is I love our commitment to summer education, and I've remarked before about we've really struggled with the middle school trying to get participation in summer education because they don't need childcare, which in elementary school, that's a real carrot. You get your kids taken care of, they get a meal, and so that's very attractive to families to do that. And in high school, we've got the stick, because if they don't have the credits, they don't graduate. In the middle school, we don't have a carrot or a stick, and this is the first year that we've had double-digit participation, I think. And they came up with a tutoring program. So I think that's marvelous, and I'll celebrate 20 kids in the middle school. That's fantastic. We don't have anyone that wanted to address the board, so we can proceed with board action. Item 4A is approval of the following board minutes. We've got minutes from July 14 and July 30th. So I'll entertain a motion.
So moved. Support.
So we have a motion support for the minutes of the 14th and the 30th. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Item 4B, that's the West Michigan Health Insurance Program. Is that? Cool.
Yeah.
Resolution, and that is the resolution for Steve to be the trustee and Kevin O'Neill to be our alternate trustee.
So,
Support.
We'll give
So
Rick the motion and Tina the support. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item 4C is approval of the following teacher contracts upon results of state and federal record and unprofessional conduct checks. We have 15 separate ones, and with the board's permission, we'll entertain a motion for all 15.
so moved.
Moved by Dan, support by Lisa. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Great. Item 4D, approval of the following teacher's resignation. We have, I'm not going to attempt that last name, a middle school science teacher.
Matt. Matt.
So I need a motion.
So moved.
I got Rick.
I'll
and
support.
Stephanie. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And with that, that is a record for us, I believe, and for me
22
anyway.
minutes.
We'll stand adjourned.